It's 7 inches the morning. The house is quiet, the lights are off, but your mind is fully awake. You check the clock, and instantly, your thoughts begin racing. How many hours are left? How will tomorrow feel if I don't fall back asleep right now? The more you try to relax, the more alert you seem to become. If this feels familiar, you're not alone, and more importantly, this isn't random. Many people believe that waking up in the middle of the night is just a normal part of getting older. But that's not the full story. There is a biological reason your eyes open at this exact time, and once you understand it, everything starts to make more sense. Inside your body, a hormone called cortisol follows a daily rhythm. It's designed to rise in the early morning to help you wake up and feel alert. But as we age or when stress builds over time, that rhythm can shift. Instead of rising at sunrise, cortisol may begin increasing much earlier, sometimes around 2 or 3 a.m. When that happens, your brain receives a signal to become active. It's not a mistake, it's your internal system running on the wrong schedule. And here's the surprising part. The moment you become aware that you're awake, your mind often shifts into problem-solving mode. That creates even more internal stimulation, making it harder to return to sleep. So this isn't about something being wrong with you, and it's not simply about age. It's about understanding what your body is doing and learning how to work with it instead of against it. And once you see what's really happening, the solution becomes much clearer. The moment you look at the clock, everything changes. It seems harmless, just a quick glance to check the time. But that single action can quietly shift your brain out of rest mode and into something completely different. Instead of drifting back to sleep, your mind begins calculating. It's 2:18. If I fall asleep now, I'll get 4 hours. Maybe less? That thought triggers a chain reaction. Your brain starts planning, predicting, even worrying about the next day. And once that mental loop begins, it feeds itself. The more you think, the more alert you become. This happens because your brain is switching into a problem-solving state. It's trying to manage a situation, time, energy, tomorrow's responsibilities. But sleep and problem-solving don't work together. They require completely different internal conditions. So instead of helping you, checking the time often does the opposite. It keeps your mind active when it needs to slow down. Removing the clock from your view or simply choosing not to check it can make a meaningful difference. When your brain doesn't know the time, it has less reason to stay engaged. Sometimes, the simplest changes have the biggest impact. If you're awake right now, there's something simple you can do that works with your body almost immediately. Instead of trying to force yourself to sleep, shift your focus to your breathing. But not just any breathing, there's a specific pattern that sends a powerful signal to your nervous system. Breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Then breathe out through your mouth for a longer count, 6 to 8 seconds. The key is making your exhale longer than your inhale. This pattern activates something called the vagus nerve. You don't need to remember the name, just think of it as your body's built-in calm switch. When it's activated, it helps slow your heart rate, quiet your mind, and reduce the internal signals that keep you alert. What makes this so effective is how quickly it works. Within a couple of minutes, your body begins to shift out of that active thinking state and into a more relaxed mode. There's no need for complicated routines. Just a few slow breaths, repeated gently, can begin to change how you feel. Sometimes, the fastest way back to sleep is not by trying harder, but by giving your body the right signal to let go. If your room feels comfortable, it might actually be too warm for deep sleep. Most people set their bedroom temperature based on comfort while awake, but your body follows a different rule when it comes to sleep. To fall into deeper, more restorative rest, your core body temperature needs to drop slightly. This cooling process is not optional. It's a biological signal that tells your brain it's time to fully power down. When your room is too warm, that drop doesn't happen efficiently. As a result, your sleep stays light and easily interrupted. You may drift in and out, wake up more often, or feel like you never fully rested. Here's where the difference becomes clear. Many bedrooms are typically kept around 70 to 74 degrees Fahrenheit. While that may feel pleasant, the optimal range for sleep is lower, closer to 65 to 68 degrees. That small adjustment can have a noticeable effect. A cooler environment helps your body release heat more easily, allowing your internal temperature to fall at the right time. This supports deeper, more stable sleep throughout the night. If lowering the temperature all at once feels uncomfortable, try adjusting it gradually over several nights. Even a slight change can begin to support better rest. Sometimes, improving sleep isn't about doing more, it's about creating the right conditions for your body to do what it already knows how to do. A warm shower before bed might be the missing step your sleep routine needs. At first, it seems like warmth would keep you more alert, but your body responds in a surprising way. When you take a warm shower or bath about 60 to 90 minutes before sleep, your body begins a natural cooling process right after you step out. This is often called a temperature drop, and it plays a key role in helping you fall asleep. As your skin releases heat into the surrounding air, your core temperature lowers more quickly than it would on its own. This drop sends a powerful signal to your brain that it's time to rest. I once worked with an older adult who struggled with waking up multiple times every night. After adjusting just one habit, taking a warm shower before bed, she began noticing longer, more continuous sleep within a few days. The change wasn't complicated, but it aligned perfectly with how the body naturally works. Sometimes, the simplest routines can create the biggest shifts in how well you sleep. The lights in your home at night may be quietly telling your brain to stay awake. After sunset, your body naturally begins preparing for rest by releasing a hormone called melatonin. This signal helps your brain shift into sleep mode. But there's one common habit that can interrupt this process without you realizing it: bright artificial lighting. Most modern homes use LED or overhead lights that emit a cool blue-white tone. This type of light is very similar to daylight. When your eyes are exposed to it in the evening, your brain receives the message that it's still daytime. As a result, melatonin production is reduced, and your body delays the transition into sleep. That's why you might feel tired, but not sleepy, or find yourself lying in bed without being able to fully relax. The solution is surprisingly simple. After about 8 p.m., begin switching off overhead lights and use softer, warmer lighting instead. Lamps with a warm yellow or amber tone create a much more sleep-friendly environment. This small change allows your body's natural rhythm to take over again. Your brain can recognize that the day is ending, and your internal signals can build properly. Sometimes, improving sleep doesn't require effort, it just requires removing what's getting in the way. What you do in the first 10 minutes of your morning can decide how well you sleep tonight. Inside your brain, there is a built-in timing system, often called your internal clock. It controls when you feel awake and when you feel sleepy. But this system needs one key signal every day to stay on track: natural light. When your eyes are exposed to bright outdoor light within the first hour of waking, your brain receives a clear message: the day has begun. This starts a countdown process inside your body. About 14 to 16 hours later, your brain will begin releasing melatonin, preparing you for sleep at the right time. If that morning signal is weak or missing, like staying indoors in dim lighting, your internal clock becomes less precise. As a result, your sleep signals later that night may feel delayed or inconsistent. The good news is that the fix is simple. Step outside for just 10 minutes in the morning. Even on cloudy days, natural light is far stronger than indoor lighting. If going outside isn't possible, sitting near a bright window can still help. This small habit builds over time. Day by day, it strengthens your body's rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. Sometimes, better sleep starts the moment you wake up. If your body feels tired but your mind refuses to slow down, there may be a simple reason behind it. Magnesium is a mineral your body relies on to help regulate relaxation and calm neural activity. As we age, many people don't get enough of it, either from diet changes or because certain medications can reduce magnesium levels over time. When magnesium is low, your brain can have difficulty switching off. Thoughts may continue looping, and your system may stay more active than it should at night. One of the ways magnesium supports sleep is through its effect on a chemical called GABA. You can think of GABA as your brain's natural quieting signal. It helps reduce excessive activity and allows your mind to settle into a more restful state. Without enough magnesium, this calming process may not work as efficiently. Some people choose to support their intake through foods rich in magnesium or specific forms of supplements. One commonly discussed option is magnesium glycinate, which is often associated with better absorption and gentler effects. However, it's important to approach this thoughtfully. Individual needs can vary, and it's always a good idea to consult a qualified professional before making changes, especially if you have existing health conditions. Sometimes, Improving sleep is not about adding complexity, but about giving your body what it may be missing. What if improving your sleep doesn't start at night, but with two simple habits you can control? One natural option that has gained attention is tart cherry. Unlike regular sweet cherries, tart cherries contain compounds that support your body's own melatonin production. Melatonin is the signal that tells your brain it's time to sleep. When levels are supported naturally, falling asleep and staying asleep can become easier over time. Some people choose to include a small serving of tart cherry juice in their routine once earlier in the day and again in the evening. The goal isn't to force sleep, but to gently support the body's natural rhythm. But there's another factor that may be even more important: how your brain perceives your bed. If you've spent many nights lying awake, your brain can begin to associate your bed with being alert instead of resting. This is sometimes called conditioned wakefulness. The solution is to retrain that association. Start by using your bed only for sleep. Avoid activities like watching screens or thinking through your day while lying down. If you find yourself awake for an extended period, get out of bed and move to a calm, dimly lit space. Do something relaxing until you genuinely feel sleepy again, then return to bed. At first, this may feel unusual, but over time, your brain begins to relearn that the bed is a place for rest, not wakefulness. These small adjustments, supporting your natural sleep signals and reshaping habits, can work together to create more consistent and restful nights. What if better sleep isn't about trying harder, but about understanding your body better? For a long time, many people have believed that restless nights are simply part of getting older. Waking up too early, struggling to fall back asleep, feeling tired the next day, it's often accepted without question. But as you've seen, there are real reasons behind these patterns, and more importantly, there are ways to support your body more effectively. This isn't about making drastic changes or following complicated routines. It's about small, thoughtful adjustments that work with your natural rhythm. Lowering the lights in the evening, stepping outside in the morning, creating a calm environment, or shifting simple habits. Each of these steps may seem minor on their own, but together they create a powerful impact over time. Your body is not working against you, it's responding to signals. And when those signals are clear and consistent, your system begins to find its balance again. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Even one small change tonight can begin to shift how you feel tomorrow. And as those changes build, so does your ability to rest more deeply and wake up feeling more refreshed. So start simple. Choose one step that feels easy to begin with, and let that be your starting point. Because better sleep isn't out of reach, it's something your body already knows how to do when given the right support.